Hi everyone, today I just want to make a video around moving on from alcohol, putting into the past, basically stopping mourning alcohol. And I remember back in the day when I quit in 2017 all the way to 2022 the first time, and got back on it actually for a few years, 2-3 years, and then in July of last year 2025 I ended up quitting. And it's something I see in the comments all the time around. And it's definitely, I think, a first 2-3 month thing where people are going into their journey, and once things have settled down, they just end up getting in this phase when time's there. You've got a lot of time on your hands, and your thoughts are probably going into overdrive. You're not, spending all your mental real estate, trying to get through the day and beating yourself up about stuff. Now your mind's quiet and the kind of storm's a bit over, I guess, that you start thinking about things, and then that morning alcohol starts creeping in. And like I say, it's something I just see in the comments so much. And looking back at the time when you were drinking, and when I look back at the time I was drinking, it's easy to just only see those good times. You see those times when it was maybe 5 o'clock on a Friday night and you're excited because you've maybe been off it all week. I was kind of always classed myself as a quintessential British binge drinker, so it was normally, Friday, Saturday nights, weddings, funerals, any excuse, to be honest. Day off the next day, just literally anything, win, lose. And when I look back at that, it's just that initial excitement at Friday 5 p.m, going to the pub, the first few drinks, or maybe if you're looking around Christmas time, New Year's time, you just have this flashback of being at a party and it's great, or your neighbour's party, and what a wonderful time it is. But I think you need to kind of take a second and actually look to see what destruction it did bring you. Shift that mindset over to the times when you were lying in bed dying, those shifts you worked where every minute was passing like 10 years, and you even wondering how you would get through that shift. All those times where you worried about something that you might have done, you might have said, you might have texted, the financial struggles you maybe went through because you had blown all your money, or you were drunk and you went to the casino and spent all your money. And don't get me wrong, I think it's, for me in the late teens, I'm sure it was for other people when I was early 20s, I'm 42 now, so it's a while back now, 20-25 years. Like I genuinely loved it, and I genuinely love it. And I think, let's say, going back to some of the comments I get, maybe people I appreciate it, they just watch maybe one video, or they watch the first 2 minutes and kind of leave a negative comment about it. But I'm not bashing my past at all. I thought I loved it. I had a great set of mates, lived in different countries and cities, and that was just basically what everyone basically done. It was just binge Britain, and I absolutely loved it. And I think it's fine to look at your past and enjoy it, but appreciate that there was a point where, probably for me, it's my really late 20s, early 30s, where it just stopped becoming fun anymore. And it just wasn't fun. The 2-3 days to recover, and the dreaded anxiety, the fear just hits you 10 times worse. And every year that passes, it just gets completely worse. And I just want to kind of remind people that you don't lose anything, really. Like I was thinking about it yesterday, about kind of what do you really lose. And I think the biggest thing is definitely that social aspect, I think, of going to a pub and pub friends and things like that, maybe the New Year's party, etc. And I can understand why people think that way. Like I say, when you look back at those times, you just have this 1 or 2 second flashback memory in your head where everyone's laughing and you're having a great time. But as we know, you don't really remember anything after 9 p.m, all those late sessions till 1, 2 in the morning. And then you need to think to yourself, is it really worth the 2-3 days, the hangovers, the poor fitness, the excess weight, the dreaded Monday mornings, the terrible sleep, never getting anything done, starting DIY, never getting it done, probably not spending enough time with your kids or your grandkids or your nephews and nieces. And I think you need to constantly remind yourself of that situation. And when you quit alcohol, you just gain so much. It's just an incredible thing. I mean, I always tell people before they quit to write down everything that they're all the benefits that they're going to get, and also everything that they're going to leave behind. And I think a really good thing to do is just get a quiet time if you're planning on quitting, and even if you want to kind of reflect on it, you're having maybe cravings now and again. Say in the comments, I see loads of people, I'm thinking about going back, I've been off it for a while and I think I could handle it, which always ends in tears, of course. And just sit there and try and imagine what life's going to be like in a year's time, especially if you've not started your kind of journey yet. And I think by the kind of small polls I run, some of them are just a bit of fun, and some of them are kind of just genuinely curious kind of how folk are doing and what part of their journey they're in. I think half the people watching, probably around half, seem to be planning to quit, but they're just not there yet. And I think if you can just get a quiet time at night and envision where you'll be in a year's time, 2 years' time, 5 years' time, just envision yourself as that non-drinker. I mean, where will you be? Just think, where will I be, and how will I feel when I've had 12, 24, 36 monthly paychecks, when I've got 5, 10, 20 grand saved in the bank. I've been turning up for work every day, and work could be your own business, it could be volunteering, it could be your side hustle. Imagine what that's going to be like, the business you've built or your work life when you've not pulled a sickie, you've been online at 7, 8 in the morning on a Friday, on a Monday, you've been pumping it all the way till Friday 5 p.m. Where are you going to be, and what's family life going to be like? Maybe no more pointless arguments with your other half. What your relationship's going to be like with your family and your kids when you're coming home at 5 p.m. instead of going to the pub, and you're coming home and you're full of life and you're wanting to do something, and you're, instead of just dying lying on the couch at the weekends, you're taking your kids or your nieces and nephews or grandkids on trips and becoming grandparent of the year or parent of the year. Just take a moment to think about that, because I think it's a really powerful thing to do. And I just kind of wanted to make this quick video just to remind yourself that there's an amazing life that is out there if you've not started your journey yet. And if you are on your journey, do the opposite and remind yourself of what life was like in the past. And I think it's a powerful thing to do. But anyway, hope you enjoyed this video. I'll keep them coming. Thanks for watching as always, and take care of yourself. Bye.